Why do you choose to sign a contract for your own unhappiness? It is January 2025, a quiet dealership in Maryland. A buyer walks in with what the industry calls sterling credit, the kind of score that usually earns you the keys to the kingdom. They walk out with a 6-year loan at 19% interest. By the end of 2025, that simple Toyota Camry will have cost them $59,000 before it is inevitably repossessed. This is the core of the auto loan crisis 2025 and the painless payment paradox. We are currently witnessing a financial epidemic where subprime delinquencies have hit a record 6.6%, the highest since we started tracking them in 1994. But the real mystery is not the numbers. The mystery is why a rational human being would volunteer for financial servitude. Why do we find ourselves preferring a longer, more expensive loan just because the ending feels a little softer? By the time this rain stops hitting the pavement, you will see a mirror of your own internal settings, and we will reveal the psychological glitch that makes you crave the very debt that is destroying your freedom. The city is full of people swimming naked, and the tide is going out fast. Historical observations from 2024 show that 1.73 million vehicles were repossessed, the highest number since the Great Recession. We see the data, but we ignore the human flaw behind it. In 1963, the average car loan lasted 36 months. Today, we are seeing 1 in 5 buyers signing up for 84, 96, even 108 months. That is nearly a decade of payments on a machine that starts losing value the moment you turn the key. Psychological case studies suggest we have stopped buying cars. We are simply buying monthly payments. The industry has engineered a system to make long-term debt feel like a warm blanket. Dealers do not ask what the car costs. They ask, what payment can you afford? Once you answer that question, they have you. They can manipulate the term, the interest, and the add-ons as long as they hit that one magic number. It is not marketing. It is psychological engineering designed to bypass your logic. Pause. Look at your own life for a second. Are you working for your family, or are you working for a piece of metal in your driveway that is currently underwater to the tune of $4,000? Case studies show that 46% of the loans reviewed in recent investigations were underwater from the very start. This means you owe the bank more than the car is worth before you even get it home. We call this negative equity, but a more accurate term is financial prison. The pain of paying is a real psychological phenomenon. Our brains process parting with cash using the same circuitry we use for physical pain. To survive this, we use mental shortcuts. Behavioral psychologists have identified a glitch called duration neglect. We are remarkably bad at accounting for how long a negative experience will last. In experimental trials, students were willing to pay the same monthly amount whether the loan lasted 5 years or 15 years. If you don't see the total cost up front, the length of the pain doesn't seem to register. This is why the average monthly payment for a new car now exceeds $750. We have normalized a reality where we spend $1,200 a month all in for a basic transportation lifestyle. If your friends spent that much on clothes every month, you would stage an intervention. But because it is a car, we nod and call it reliable transportation. This is automotive Stockholm Syndrome. We have fallen in love with our captor. Philosophy suggests that poverty is not the absence of goods, but the overabundance of desire. We see this most clearly at the bottom of the pyramid. Historical observations of low-income households in India and Romania show a startling pattern. People will cut their daily food intake, literally eating less rice, just to afford prestigious beauty creams or mobile phones. They are not being stupid. They are engaging in compensatory consumption. When you feel powerless in society, you buy a status symbol to deceptively signal your worth. A lush wedding in a poor village or a $70,000 truck in an American suburb serve the same purpose. They are costumes. We are not buying transportation. We are buying a mountain climber lifestyle for a truck that will only ever park on the grass at a county fair. Interrogate your motives. Who are you trying to impress? Industry benchmarks tell us that wealth is what you don't see. It is the nice cars not purchased, the watches not worn, the first-class upgrade declined. When people say they want to be a millionaire, what they usually mean is they want to spend $1 million, which is the literal opposite of being a millionaire. We judge wealth by what we see because we cannot see bank accounts. So we rely on cars and homes to gauge success. Capitalism has turned faking it until you make it into a cherished industry. Historical records from Singapore provide a gritty look at the sunk cost fallacy. In Singapore, cars are the most expensive in the world due to government taxes. Researchers found that the more sunk cost a driver paid for their car, the more they drove it. They were trying to get their money's worth. But the cost of the car is gone the moment you buy it. Driving more only increases your gas and maintenance costs. Yet, we continue to throw good money after bad. We drive to justify the debt. We work second jobs to pay for the truck we use to get to the second job. It is a cold war with the self. Stop. Consider the man in the car paradox. You think that when you drive a flashy car, people look at you and think you are cool. But they don't. They don't even look at you. They are too busy imagining themselves in the car. No one is as impressed with your possessions as you are. If your goal is respect and admiration, horsepower is a poor substitute for humility and empathy. Now we come to the peak end rule, the most dangerous glitch in your financial software. Psychologists have discovered that we don't evaluate a loan by adding up all the payments. Instead, we average the peak moment and the end moment. This leads to a terrifying result in the lab. Participants actually increased their willingness to accept a loan when researchers made it more expensive by adding smaller, less painful payments to the end. Think about that. You can be tricked into preferring a more expensive debt plan just because it ends on a soft note. Lenders know this. They structure loans to hide the peak pain and soften the end, making you a willing participant in your own bankruptcy. Wait, there is a cost to everything, even the things you get for free. You pay for them with the space in your garage and the bandwidth in your mind. Every buy now, pay later scheme is an illusion of liquidity. It reduces the mental friction of spending. It makes you feel richer today while making you objectively poorer tomorrow. 72% of young users admit to more frequent impulse buys when using these tools. They think they are managing a budget. In reality, they are just losing sight of the total outflow. They are seeking the infinite in installments. Interrogation. If you were alone on this planet, what would you actually want for yourself? Would you still want the $900 car payment? Or would you want the freedom to wake up and say, I can do whatever I want today? The highest dividend money pays is the ability to control your time. Using your money to buy stuff is a lifestyle benefit that few luxury goods can compete with when compared to buying options and time. But we trade that time for metal. We trade it for the rugged lifestyle costume. The 2025 data shows that even subprime borrowers are showing cracks. Severe delinquencies in the highest credit tier have surged over 300% year over year. Stress is spreading to everyone. The system is designed to keep the goalpost moving. As soon as you pay off the Camry, the industry will show you a Lexus. As soon as everyone has granite countertops, the rich move to poured concrete. It is a hedonic treadmill that only moves faster the more you spend. The faster it moves, the less satisfaction you feel. In 1975, 74% of Americans felt their income was enough to satisfy their desires. By 1999, after a massive economic boom, that number dropped to 61%. We have more, and we are more miserable because of it. Historical observations suggest the only way to win is to not fight the battle of social comparison. Accept that you might have enough, even if it is less than those around you. There is no reason to risk what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need. But we are addicted to the surprise of the next purchase. We are poor forecasters of our future selves. We think the new car will make us a new person. It won't. It will only make us a person with a debt obligation. Now, we solve the problem. You are sitting in the chair at the dealership. The salesman asks you what monthly payment you want. How do you protect yourself? Industry benchmarks suggest the 2,410 rule, 20% down. Finance for no more than 4 years. Keep total transportation costs under 10% of your gross income. If you have to stretch a loan to 84 months to afford it, you cannot afford it. Period. Case studies show that those who drive boring cars and invest the difference in an index fund end up with over $70,000 more after 7 years than those in the flashy truck. The person in the flashy truck looks rich, but is terrified of a layoff. The person in the 5-year-old Honda is quietly building a fortress. We must also confront the seduction of pessimism. It sounds smarter to say everything is going to crash. Pessimism sounds like someone trying to help you. Optimism sounds like a sales pitch. But real optimism is the belief that the odds of a good outcome are in your favor over time, if you stay the course. It requires the humility to accept that some of your success is luck, and the paranoia to realize it can be taken away just as fast. Frugality is not about being cheap, it is about survival. It is about being financially unbreakable. Recall the man in the car once more. Why do you want that car? To be liked? To be admired? Humility, kindness, and empathy will bring you more respect than horsepower ever will. Wealth is hidden. It is unspent income. It is the option to buy something later. Its value lies in flexibility. In the bank, money that earns 0 interest might actually generate an extraordinary return if it gives you the flexibility to take a job with more purpose or wait for a real opportunity. But you can't see flexibility. You can only see the truck. So, here is the resolution to our psychological mystery. Why did that buyer with perfect credit sign the 19% loan? Because they were a victim of duration neglect and the peak end rule. They focused on the monthly payment and the less painful ending. They were buying a costume, not a car, and they were terrified of being out of it compared to their reference group. We are all prone to this. We are all seeking to become infinite in installments. We are all part of a strange race of people, spending our lives doing things we detest, to make money we don't want, to buy things we don't need, to impress people we dislike. The unsettling truth is that your character is being mined by an industry that knows your psychological glitches better than you do. They know you will ignore the length of the loan. They know you will crave the status signal. They know you will trade your Saturday mornings for a leather seat. The question is no longer, what car can you afford?
The real question is,
How much of your life are you willing to sacrifice to look like someone you aren't? Are you owning your things, or are they owning you? And if the computer of your life broke down tomorrow, would you still be happy with the phone you rushed home to unbox? The mirror is in front of you. What do you see?